Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your ridiculously over good brother, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher, the phenom Michael Bullock. I'm not sure if the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson will be joining us or not. If she does, we'll catch her up on anything she might have missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have her with us Wednesday night on Wednesday Night Mayhem. But tonight, a very interesting night, to say the very least. We don't often get news and views items on this show, but tonight we have one. And considering that we don't really have much to get into when it comes to Monday Night Raw, well, I figured this would be a good time to address it because it was announced a little before Raw went on the air, and it was reported by Derek Ferrera. And when he got this news, all I can say is Derek was not happy about it whatsoever. He may not be happy about it, but all I can tell you is all of us here, we're actually okay with the decision that came out. As you all know, the coronavirus has been wreaking havoc all over the world in ways that we have not seen since probably September 11th of 2001. We all know that. And it's because of that, so many of our favorite things, when it comes to the world of sports and entertainment, everything has practically been taken away. The NCAA tournament was taken away. The NBA was taken away. Major League Baseball was taken away. The NHL was taken away. You name it, any sport you name, gone. However, there actually is a bright cloud, a silver lining to this darkest of clouds. And that is World Wrestling Entertainment. It's also All Elite Wrestling. But World Wrestling Entertainment, their biggest event of the year, you might have heard of it. It's called WrestleMania. This year, WrestleMania 36 originally was scheduled to emanate from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the NFL and the brand new Tampa Bay Vipers of the XFL. And, well, thanks to the coronavirus, it will not happen. That's the bad news. The bad news is WrestleMania will not take place at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday, April 5th. The good news, however, WrestleMania is still going to go on Sunday, April 5th, but it will take place from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, with no fans. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that are crying foul about this, nobody more so than Derek Ferrera. If you saw his Facebook post, then, well, you'll know how he feels about it. But nevermore has there ever been a time that we needed, a positive distraction, a break from all this nonsense that's been going on in the world today. And I couldn't think of a better, more positive distraction from all this nonsense than the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania 36, emanating from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Yes, there will not be any fans. Who cares? The point is, we thought we were going to have this taken away from us as well, but the show will go on. And I understand where Derek is coming from. I know what Derek is. I know Derek is saying that, that he's ripping WWE, especially Vinnie Mac, the whole 9 yards and everything else, saying that they should have postponed it. They should have waited. Yes, it will not be the same without, the glitz and the glamour of the big stadium and whatnot and the fans. But with everything that's going on in the world today, they had no choice. And I commend WWE for what they're doing here. I mean, we're finally gonna have a much needed and welcome break from this nonstop Corona coverage. And instead of bitterness, anger, sadness, and the whole 9 yards, for however long it's going to be, whether it's going to be 4 to 5 hours or however many hours it's going to be, at least for all those hours, we're finally going to have something fresh and something positive that will help take our minds of what has without question been the biggest crisis to hit this nation since 9/11. So bravo, WWE. You actually did something right for a change. Don't let the haters say otherwise. Don't let Derek Ferrer and all the other haters say otherwise. We salute you. And we're going to finally have a welcome distraction. It snaps a long streak of WrestleMania being in the big stadium. It'll mark the first time since WrestleMania 22 that WrestleMania will not be in a big stadium. You could even say this is almost shades of WrestleMania 7 in a sense. Because you all remember WrestleMania 7 was originally scheduled for the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but then at the last second was relocated to the much smaller Los Angeles Sports Arena. And look how great that show turned out to be. So who knows? Could this be WrestleMania 7 all over again nearly 30 years later? So we'll have to wait and see. But all I know is I, for one, could not be any happier with this decision. And I am so glad that the show is going to go on and that it's not going to be pushed back. And I am hopeful that it'll only be for this year. Hopefully by this time next year, this whole nonsense will be long gone and so far in our rearview mirror that we can focus on SoFi Stadium next year and get it back to the big stadium. What I think they should do is, since they had Raymond James Stadium ready to go, what I think they should do is, I think the following year, I think WrestleMania 38 should be at Raymond James Stadium to make things fair. That's just how I feel about it. So, but all I know is it's historic. It's unprecedented. Let's go. I'm ready. So, nothing really more to say on this. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher, come on in. I mean, Derek broke the news via our wrestling forum, Facebook Messenger chat group. Mm-hmm. And there was nobody, well, other than me, and I'm sure Bullock as well, but I saw all the messages and I saw that you were just as delighted as I was about this news.
The way I feel about this, it goes like this. Tampa forced the WWE's hand on this. They were going to cancel WrestleMania on them. And basically, Tampa was very worried about the coronavirus like everybody else. And I get where Tampa's coming from. I get where they're coming from. They have every right to do it. They're protecting their people and everything else. And I get why Vince wants to keep WrestleMania going. It is a nice distraction. It is a thing that we need to get away from, like you said, all the news and the coverage of the coronavirus and the whole 9 yards. And now the CDC saying that we might not be good for another 2 months. So that's not only affecting WWE, but that's affecting the landscape of sports and everything else. So there's a lot going on. So I get why a lot of people are upset. Well, what about for those people that bought tickets or bought travel vouchers and the whole 9 yards? What happens to them? They're going to get refunded. They're going to be covered. People who lost money out on this, don't worry, you'll get your money back for this. And yeah, I feel bad for the city of Tampa. They're going to lose out on millions and millions of dollars of what was going to be not only publicity, but revenue and everything that normally comes for WrestleMania in an economy. And they lose it. They lost it all. They're going to lose it because of this. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing like with the UFC. Dana White actually had his event in Brazil, and he wanted it to continue on, but he's been forced to cancel the next 3 pay-per-views, which sucks. So, as far as it goes, I get why Derek is mad. Oh, Vince doesn't care about the fans, this and that. He's caring about the bottom line. He loses a lot of money on this. He loses millions of dollars not having the crowd there, not having concessions. As a matter of fact, he's taken more of a loss to do WrestleMania this year than he's done in other years. So people's like, oh, you should postpone it. You should hold it, push it back, this and that. There's no uncertainty about if they're going to push WrestleMania. As of now, I don't even know if we're even going to have a SummerSlam in Boston. It's a virtual unknown right now. If the CDC is right, if everything is back to normal by May or June, okay, SummerSlam in Boston, you're definitely good. You're definitely in the good front. Everything should be fine. Then we can live on and move on with everything. But with this day and age, I hate to say it, guys, but the Monday Night Raw in Providence at the Dunk, dude, it's off the table. I don't even think it's happening now. So we just saved ourselves $45 going to Monday Night Raw. We might want to reconsider and get back into the SummerSlam tickets. We should. So I think we're thinking back at SummerSlam again. But as it stands, I get why a lot of people are upset. And I get why a lot of people, but the thing is, we need the distraction. Everything has been about coronavirus this, coronavirus that. That's why I'm absolutely delighted with what happened in the NFL today. We actually got a show this week. Strictly Sports is going to be back at least for 1 week. So, at the end of the day, I get it. I understand those sentiments. I understand the fans and the anger, but look what happened to AEW. AEW is shut down. They're in a bad spot right now. Their next 2 shows, including Blood and Guts, is off the table. And who knows how long AEW is going to be out of action. So what does WWE do? They got their own facility, the Performance Center. They got their own building that they could house the shows in. Yes, it's empty arenas, but at the end of the day, they can still provide entertainment that a lot of the stuff that's been happening in Hollywood and everything else, they're all getting shut down left and right. At least WWE cares about the people enough that they want to entertain you just to get your minds out of what the coronavirus has been doing to everything. Movie theaters are getting shut down. Arenas are shut down. You can't even go into a restaurant anymore. You can't even go into a restaurant anymore. Everything is closed in the world. WWE took a very bold move. Now, we can say, was it the right thing? Was it the wrong thing? We'll get into that another day, another moment. Is it going to be the best WrestleMania? Most likely not. Most likely not. But with everything that's been happening, this had to happen. No doubts. So, are we happy about it? Yeah, we are. And I hear everybody who's upset, who's complaining about WrestleMania happening and this and that. But like Anthony said, for the 5 hours of WrestleMania, we're going to be entertained. And I think at the moral of the story is, WWE taking a huge risk here. I hope it works. I hope it works. We'll wait and see. Michael Bullock, come on in, bro. Give me your thoughts. WrestleMania is happening, but it's going to be at the Performance Center, not at Raymond James.
Yeah, and I'm with you guys. I mean, with everything that's been going on with the coronavirus and the coverage it's been getting, the thing is, we need something to get our minds off of this coronavirus. WWE took a risk, and I think they should be commended for it. And I know the haters out there are don't like it. They're upset. But the thing is, with the matches that are intact, I mean, you, especially with potentially two, maybe three more matches are going to be added. It'll at least give us something to take our minds off for the next 4 or 5 hours come WrestleMania. So, I mean, with everything that's been going on, I mean, there's no sports. I mean, it's now, I think, day 5 without sports.
Mm-hmm.
And we need something to actually take our minds off of it. Yes, WrestleMania won't be the same without the glitz and glamour of Raymond James Stadium and all that. I get what, and I feel bad for those people that bought tickets for this, and yes, they're going to get their refunds. Don't worry about it. So WWE, I think they should be commended for what they did here. So I'm ready. I can't wait for WrestleMania. It probably won't be the greatest, but you know what? With everything that's been going on, at this point, who cares? Who the hell cares? As long as we're getting this, I just can't wait. I mean, and to the haters, I'm just going to say this right now, especially you, Derek Ferreira. If you don't like this, and I know you're going to disagree with all 3 of us, it's just plain and simple. Don't watch WrestleMania. If you're that upset about it like you are, don't even bother wasting your time watching WrestleMania. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to say this right now, guys, and I don't know how you're going to feel, I'm starting to get sick and tired of Derek Ferreira and his ranting about this whole thing. It's beyond the point of go away. So, and I know Derek's going to call me out on all this, and you know what? At this point, I don't give a damn. Go suck a you-know-what, Derek, as far as I'm concerned. Because, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, his rants, I mean, especially him poo-pooing all over this decision. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I just can't take it. Somebody needs to man up and call him out on this. And I'm going to be that guy. I may get my head chewed off, but you know what? There's an old saying, guys. Everybody has it's called freedom of speech. Obviously, Derek Ferreira probably is going to disagree with us, but you know what? Who cares? Look, all 3 of us, and I know there's going to be other true wrestling fans who are going to enjoy this. It won't be the greatest, but with everything that's going on, who cares? I can't wait. Florio, it's yours.
Yes, and in addition to all this, there will not be a Hall of Fame induction ceremony and NXT Takeover Tampa. Both of those events have been postponed. They will not take place as previously scheduled. Further details will be shared when they become available. So there's that.
And and one more thing, and I have a suggestion when it comes to the Hall of Fame because I still think they should be recognized. Why not do it SummerSlam weekend?
That's an idea.
Just a thought. Just a thought. I mean, I'm not saying.
I think
they
I
should
think
do it.
what they
I think it's
could
just a
do.
suggestion.
Well, I think what they're gonna do is I think they will invite the Hall of Famers, and they'll just have them. They're just not gonna do a ceremonies about them, but I could see them get recognized at WrestleMania. They'll introduce them. I think that would be the right thing to do.
Yeah,
but
because they had that they've been having that, that where they set aside a few minutes to recognize the Hall of Famers, so that little ceremony.
Yeah, so
That's right.
I think the best way to do it is do it that way at WrestleMania.
Mm.
I
agree.
So I think that would probably be the better way to go with that. I get it.
Yep, I'm with MF on that one. So
yeah, you know what? I'm actually with MF on this one too. I mean, I agree with them. I mean, at least have them have their moment to be recognized.
This is the official statement from WWE regarding this. In coordination with local partners and government officials, WrestleMania and all related events in Tampa Bay will not take place. However, WrestleMania will still stream live on Sunday, April 5 at 7 p.m. on the WWE Network and be available on pay-per-view. Only essential personnel will be on the closed set at WWE's training facility in Orlando, Florida to produce WrestleMania. Yes, it will not be the same without the crowd, the elaborate set, the pyro, the big entrances, the whole 9 yards. But that being said, it makes a lot of us fans very happy that the event is still taking place in some form. So that's all there is to say on that. So with all that, let's get into Monday Night Raw. There really isn't much to get into, but we're going to get into it anyway. And we started it off with the Rated R Superstar, the Hall of Famer, Edge. And Edge cuts a very, very scathing promo on Randy Orton. And he made the challenge. He has challenged Randy Orton at WrestleMania to a last man standing match. We're going to hit the reset button on this one. This was the segment of the night. Very well delivered promo from Edge. In this case, Edge looking into the camera and speaking directly to Orton worked out nicely. And there's no telling whether he would have taken that approach if he had a live crowd to play out of. But Edge did a great job of delivering an intense promo that felt fitting of the story that's been told by him and Orton thus far. Last man standing match with those two at Mania in the Performance Center. That's going to be fun. So, well done, Edge. And as I've always said, angry Edge is the best Edge. I always loved it when he would cut those angry and intense promos. It didn't matter if he was a heel or a babyface. Either way, whenever he would cut those angry promos, I always got a kick out of it. And this one was no exception. That was absolutely phenomenal. Well done. So there's that. So that's all I can say on that. That was the segment of the night for me. MF, angry Edge is the best Edge, and Edge and Orton, last man standing at Mania Performance Center. Something you'd be interested in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be very unpredictable. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be all over the place. The fight itself is gonna be insane, and without a doubt, it's gonna be one heck of a matchup. I really don't know what else there will be. It's just gonna be one of those battles where, it could be anything at WrestleMania. So I mean, last man standing. Holy cow, let's go. So Yeah, it's gonna be one heck of a matchup. So I'm looking forward to it. So promo was great. Segment of the night. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. This was the segment of the night. I mean, and like Anthony said, um, Angry Edge is it makes it very entertaining, and just him looking straight at Randy Orton through that camera and laying down the challenge for that last man standing match between these two at WrestleMania. I'm down with that. And I mean, like I said, guys, when this all got started, it was so personal. Uh, it, it was just, I mean, it was too personal for it to be a regular match. And now we got our stipulation. And now with this being last man standing, I'm definitely down for it. So, yeah. And of course, we found out next week Randy Orton will be in the house, and he'll give his response. And I think we all know what his answer is going to be. He's going to accept it. So, nothing more to say, Florio. Let's move on.
And just like what we had this past Friday night on SmackDown, WWE took a page out of their book. You remember Friday night on SmackDown, they replayed the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match from last week's Chamber pay-per-view. Pretty much in its entirety, almost. But tonight, WWE took it one step further. They gave us an encore presentation of this year's Men's Royal Rumble match in its entirety, with commercial breaks, yes, but they still did it anyway. And we're obviously not going to review that again because we already gave our thoughts on that. And if you want to hear those thoughts, go on over to MF's YouTube channel, BraceBand95, and watch our Royal Rumble 2020 recap edition of this show if you want our thoughts on that. But we all remember how that went down. Drew McIntyre won it, and, so a lot of people were not happy about that. I know Dee Dee Woodson was not happy about them showing it. She said she was bored by it, but it is what it is. They had to find a way to fill the time, and they filled a lot of time. That thing that lasted about an hour and a half and change. So that's all there is to say on that. So getting back into the real action here. Then we had the segment with the Undertaker. The Undertaker and the phenomenal AJ Styles. Well, they were going to have a formal contract signing with Jerry the King Lawler in the ring moderating. But you notice when Taker came out, he didn't do his usual Valley Hoot entrance. Taker meant business. Taker, he didn't just take that slow, methodical walk. Oh, no. He walked with a purpose. And he went in and he flipped the table over because there was no contract. AJ Styles had the contract backstage in the backstage location with Gallows and Anderson, and he sent Gallows and Anderson to the ring to present Taker with the contract. Yeah, you really didn't think Taker was gonna? You really thought Taker was gonna let him slide? Oh no, Taker took out the OC. He took out Gallows and Anderson. He signed the contract. It is now official. The Undertaker and the phenomenal AJ Styles one-on-one at WrestleMania. So MF, I mean, we all thought we were going to get the big Valley Hoot Taker entrance, but no, Taker walked out with a purpose, and he looked a little bit like the American Badass Undertaker this evening.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. This was definitely not it definitely was not the Phenom. It definitely looked like Red Devil, Big Evil, so yeah, no doubt about it. It was very interesting to see. And no, I really got nothing else to add. So it's all good. So I liked it. It's official. Let the fight happen at WrestleMania. So nothing more to say. I know, Michael Bullock, you got a lot of great things to say. So it's yours, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, we still had the traditional Taker music, but like you said, he was walking with a purpose, and quite frankly, you can't blame the guy because AJ Styles, he made this whole matter very personal. I mean, bringing up his first off, bringing up his real name, and then mentioning his wife. I mean, you can't blame him for being that pissed off. I mean, and as like I said, as the late Gorilla Monsoon would say, don't start something that you can't finish. Well, I also have another saying, guys, and I don't know how you guys are gonna feel. AJ Styles may have started a fire that he may not be able to put out. I mean, I mean, there's a fine line. I mean, we have something at the wrestling forum that we. I mean, you could talk trash about a certain wrestler, but when you bring up family, that is a major no-no. I mean, are we? I mean, can we agree on that, guys?
Yes, absolutely, we can agree on that.
Fletch?
He agrees. He agrees.
Oh, he does agree?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, the fight is now official. I've been clamoring for the past 3 years, especially since AJ Styles came to WrestleMania. I mean, came to WWE, and let's not forget another time when they had a little time in the ring, and that was on the final SmackDown Live before Survivor Series in 2016. So, yeah, a match that we all thought would never happen, but when AJ Styles came to WWE, there were a lot of possibilities, and this was the one I was hoping for, and now we're going to get it. I'm just going to simply call it, guys. A man who's been the face of WWE for close to 30 years against a man who has been the face of so many different wrestling companies, but these guys know he's been the face of Impact Wrestling. So I can't wait to see it go down. So there's really nothing more to say. So, yeah, Florio, I mean, it is yours. I mean, like I said, AJ Styles may have started a fire that he may not be able to put out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was great. I mean, Styles followed up last week's shock value promo with another good outing. Taker was not in dead man mode. He was in American Badass mode here. I guess they just want this to feel more real this time around. There won't be a crowd in attendance for WrestleMania, so no elaborate Taker entrance needed. So, but it came out really good, though. I mean, I can't remember the last time we saw Taker that upset. So, you know, it is what it is. But, anyways, this was an interesting show, as I keep saying. Interesting to the point where we only had one match on this entire show. And this was the one match. But it was a good one, though. United States Heavyweight Champion Andrade with the sexy Zelina Vega squaring off against Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio wins the match 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And there was and to make a quick note on something, Angry Asuka on commentary for the win. Yes, that was freaking awesome.
That was the highlight of the night, and that made this a lot more enjoyable.
Oh, yes.
Triple H was the star On SmackDown on Friday,
Big star.
Asuka was the star of tonight's Monday Night Raw.
Amen.
On commentary.
Amen.
Done.
Bullock starts.
I agree, 100%.
And Bullock, you should know, during our Raw chat, I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't stop laughing. I mean, Fletch. I mean, when Angry Oscar came about, I mean, he couldn't stop laughing. I mean, it was just so hard to contain this guy. But anywho, it was a good match. I'm gonna give it about 2.5 for the effort. But yeah, I think Angry Oscar's commentary stole the show during this match. So nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, Michael Bullock and I, we had our Raw chat this evening, and oh my, I was laughing so hard I was crying. I got to be honest with you, I was crying and I was laughing so hard because of how funny Asuka was. I mean, oh my God, that was. I mean, I have tried so hard over the last couple of hours to try to contain myself during that. But what did I have for this? I'm gonna meet you in the middle, Bullock. I'm gonna give this about 2 3/4 of a star, teetering on 3, if I'm gonna be honest. Pretty good. It was pretty good. They worked hard. We already know they have great chemistry, and tonight was no exception. So perhaps we might have seen a championship committee moment here. Perhaps because Rey Mysterio just pinned the United States Heavyweight Champion. So Rey just might have put himself right back into contention for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Maybe that could lead to something for Mania. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But for me, I'm going to give it 2 3/4 of a star. So really nothing more to say. MF, I give it to you now. Rey and Andrade, the chemistry always great. Maybe not one of their better outings, but it was still fine for what it was. And it looks like Rey just might have had himself a championship committee moment.
2 3/4 to 3 stars. I absolutely agree with it. I thought they did a really good job with it. And yeah, I really got nothing else to add, guys. So let's just move right along. Anthony, next thing.
Yes, and it was the man, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. How sweet was that semi truck she came in on? I mean, wow. Unbelievable. I mean, Becky Lynch, if you didn't see it, Becky made her way to the Performance Center as only the man can with a semi. She has her own custom-made semi. And, man, that thing was gorgeous, let me tell you. But she cuts another promo on Shayna Baszler. And all I know is I'm glad that Becky Lynch is back to delivering good, straightforward pro wrestling promos again. And this was another one of those right here. So she cuts another great promo on Shayna Baszler. They will meet at Mania for the Raw Women's Championship. So really nothing more to say on this. MF, quick thought?
No, promo was fun. It was good, solid news. I really got nothing else to add. I mean, it was what we wanted to expect. Becky cutting a nice promo, heading into WrestleMania against Shayna Baszler, and no, I got really nothing more to add. So, Anthony, it's Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like the promo too. I mean, it was good to see one of those Becky straight solid promos, and yeah, I mean, basically sending the message to Shayna Baszler about their upcoming encounter at WrestleMania. So there's nothing more to say. Let's move on, Florio.
It's not often we get into backstage segments, but this is one that I think needs to be addressed here. The beautiful Charlie Caruso. She was ready to interview Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens said, "I'll take it from here. Thank you." And then Kevin Owens responded to Seth Rollins' challenge, and Kevin Owens issued a challenge to Seth Rollins for a match at WrestleMania. So you have a feeling that's going to be made official. But MF, the reason why I think this should be addressed is because Kevin Owens cut a very passionate promo about the Performance Center. Because as you know, Kevin Owens is a product of the Performance Center. When he first came to WWE, when he signed his WWE contract, when he had his tryout, it was at the Performance Center. So it's obvious that the Performance Center means a great deal to Kevin Owens. And I mean, Owens really did a nice job of making the Performance Center setting feel like a positive by playing up his history there in a very believable manner. So yeah, that was very well done. Good stuff there. So, all right. And now to close out the show, the other Hall of Famer. It was his day today, 316 day. You know what that means. The Hall of Famer himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he basically talked about 316 day. I mean, he said that 316 day is the national holiday, responding with a hand gesture when someone gives you, you know what. He said you can open up a can on anyone you want. The speed limit is only a suggestion. Happy hour 24 hours long. If you burp, it's considered poetry. Your boss is working for you. 4-letter words are always acceptable. You can whoop anybody's rear and get away with it. And then Stone Cold brings in Byron Saxton. And much to my delight, Byron Saxton finally got his. Boom! Stone Cold Stunner. Not once, but twice. Oh, man, that was so fun. I mean, man, did I love that. And then Becky Lynch comes out, and Becky Lynch and Stone Cold, they opened up some cans, and there you have it. I mean, so I see MF is ready. Yeah, MF, I know it was, on the campy side and the campy comedy side, and I get it, but still, Stone Cold, it doesn't matter what he does, it's always entertaining, no matter how good or bad it is.
I think this is the moment. This is the one downside for not having an audience. This is the one downside of not performing with the live audience, because this was meant for the WWE universe. They should have had the fans. If there's one thing on this show that misses out, is that kind of moment, that kind of level of stuff. This would have been absolutely epic if the crowd was there, yelling "what" the whole time. I mean, it would have been a more epic moment. Yeah, it was a little campy. It was a little comedy, which is something that Austin never would do under any circumstances. Normally, Austin's more focused on the job. Like, he would be more, on that. But, the way he spoke, the way the speech went out, it kind of felt campy, but it was fine for what it was worth. There was a nice ending to Monday Night Raw. But again, this is where I wish the fans were there, because this moment would have been more epic than anything else. So, no, it was good. It was fine. Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Bullock, are you there?
Mike? It looks like we lost him, kid.
Nope, there he is.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bullock,
Yeah,
your thoughts on the 316 day stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, it was sort of to take away from everything that's been going on, and man, I mean, yeah, you knew Byron Saxton was asking for it when he got in the ring, and it was so good to see Stone Cold and the man drinking a beer together, and And quite frankly, guys, I thought Becky was unfortunately going to get. I thought Stone Cold was going to get payback because remember, on a recent episode of Straight Up Steve Austin, where Becky Lynch was the guest, she not only drank a beer with him, but she also hit the stunner on him. I mean, but no, they ended with just drinking beer. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Floria, let's move on to overall thoughts on the show.
Well, I got to get my thoughts on this.
Oh yeah. You
the 316-day jokes, they were pretty rough, and obviously it didn't help. And like MF said, he makes a great point. It did not help that Stone Cold did not have a live crowd to play off of. All things considering, Stone Cold and the Man having a beer bash was good fun, and it was great fun to cap off what ended up being another strange WWE show without a crowd. So that's really all there is to say on that. So now we're going to get into our overall review here. Michael Bullock, how in the world are we going to score this show here this evening?
Oh,
I kind of feel like from now on, until we start going with the live audience, no ratings. No ratings for the show. I don't think it even deserves a rating because we only had one fight and a lot of it was more filler. I say this is a complete NR, and I would, as executive producer, until we start getting shows with the live studio audience again, these shows will remain as NRs. No ratings.
I agree.
I agree with that as well. But I would like to share a final thought, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, if you guys want to share a final thought, feel free. But if not, I'll share a final thought on this show.
Well, Bullock, you're supposed to lead off on this, so if you want to give a final thought, you're more than welcome to it.
Yeah, final thought, no rating.
Well, I mean, the only thing to take away from it, I mean, it looks like some 3 more matches are going to get, and one is official, The Undertaker and AJ Styles.
Yes.
But we know eventually we're going to get Edge and Randy Orton, Last Man Standing, and Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. So, Florio, it's yours.
Tonight's episode of Raw was far from perfect, but I did feel that the company did their best to produce something enjoyable and also add some build to WrestleMania. The Edge promo was great. Airing the Rumble not only filled time well, but also adds to the build for Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar, and it allowed everyone to see/relive Drew's big win. Kevin Owens cut a good, passionate, believable promo about the PC. Andrade Rey Mysterio was pretty good, sets up a likely rematch. While the Becky and Taker segments were designed to build Mania matches as well, the Austin segment kind of was what it was. A lot of folks were hating on it on social media, but all things considered with the situation, I think they accomplished a lot and it was good. So that's my final thoughts. So MF, your final thoughts on this Raw tonight?
You're absolutely right with what you just said, Anthony. Was it the best Monday Night Raw? No. Was it the worst? No. It was a solid show. It was a solid show because it was very storyline progression type. It's just giving us more momentum heading into WrestleMania, and that's what you want to do at this point in the game. Now that we know Mania is going to happen, now that we know Mania is officially on, there's nothing stopping it. The Performance Center will be the home of WrestleMania. Yes, it will be without a crowd, but at least we now know there is no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. WrestleMania 36 is going down, and it's not stopping. Yes, it's in a different venue. Yes, it's going to be without a crowd, but at least we now know for certain WrestleMania is happening. And that's the biggest thing that's coming out of it, is that we got the guarantee that WrestleMania will go down. So for me, all given aside, this was a decent show, solid, but again, it needs to get better. And yeah, fill in the gaps. And the thing is, you gotta try to do the best that you got under the circumstances, and that's gonna be the end game of it all. So, yes, pretty good, not bad, solid show. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, and now we'll get into my Tony's take here. And just to address Impact Wrestling, these shows were taped long before this whole thing started. So you will see crowds on that. So and this past week's show, no exception. Continuing the series of tapings from Las Vegas. This last Impact Wrestling, it started off with Rhino against Madman Fulton. Rhino wins the match 8 minutes and 10 seconds. 1.5 stars. This was not good. It was slow, had no flow. The wrong guy won. Sabu is back, and that's a horrible way to start the show. Then we had the Rascals against the Desi Hit Squad. Rascals win it 5 minutes and 55 seconds, 2.5 stars. Short but perfectly solid tag match with the right team winning. Another Jordan Grace Open Challenge for the Knockouts Championship. Madison Rain handpicks another opponent, a young lady named Lacey Ryan. Jordan Grace retains the title, 7 minutes and 10 seconds. 2.5 stars. You know, they gave Lacey Ryan a lot here. It was an overall solid and competitive outing. Lacey did well for herself, and I would like to see her get another shot. She's got a good look and potential. Then we had Willie Mack and Ace Austin against Johnny Swinger and Disco Inferno. Mack and Austin win the match in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. 2-star match. The Swinger stuff can be amusing to some, but for me, I don't care. It feels like this stuff with Mack has lasted an eternity. I know things drastically changed when Rich Swann got hurt, but I'm hoping we can do something interesting with Willie Mack going forward. The match was okay. Thankfully, the Ace arriving, and hey, at least it was something interesting. We'll see how it plays out. The final match in the best of 5 series, Eddie Edwards, Michael Elgin. The fight ends in a draw, non-finish, 23 minutes and 5 seconds. Despite it, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. It was the fight of the night. It was a very good main event, but for as well as this feud started, it lost some steam down the stretch. Came off as the best of the previous matches. Felt a bit like diminishing returns overall. The 2 commercial breaks really killed the flow. And I hate when companies do a best of only to end it with no winner. It makes us, makes us all as fans feel as if we've wasted our time. But the World Heavyweight Champion Tessa Blanchard came out and says, you know what? I'll take you both on. So as it stands, there's no word on if this Rebellion event's going to get affected. It very likely will get affected. But then again, you know, that's a small venue they're in, Terminal 5, New York City. That might be small enough. I don't know. We'll see. But it's slated for April 19th, and Tessa says, I'll face you both. So it looks to me like we're going to see Tessa Blanchard versus Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards in a 3-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Rebellion. So this was a 5 out of 10. I'm sorry. The show has not been good the last few weeks. It continued here. It was not a good show. The only thing delivering anything of note was Elgin and Edwards, but even that ended up being unsatisfying. So that's a 5 out of 10. What you can expect on the next show, which will take place once again from Las Vegas tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Access TV, Encore at 11. We got Daga squaring off against Jay Christ. The in-ring debut of Chris Bay, he squares off against Damian Drake. RVD, Katie Forbes, and Joey Ryan, they cut a promo. The 3 of them are going to be forming a new stable called Cancel Culture. Interesting. And the two of them are going to team up, Cancel Culture, and they're going to square off against Cody Deaner and Cousin Jake, the Deaners. Kira Hogan went up against Lacey Ryan. Josh Matthews interviews Ken Shamrock. We get a big return coming out of that. Someone we haven't seen for the last couple of months or so. And then in the main event, a World Tag Team Championship match in the main event. The North will be defending against Falaba and TJP. So that takes care of that. So that all goes down tomorrow night over on Access TV, 8 p.m. Eastern, Encore at 11. If you can't watch it on Access TV, no problem. Join MF over on Twitch. You can watch it from there. So that's all there is to say on that. Now this is the big match from 205 Live that we were all waiting for. That big traditional Survivor Series like elimination matchup, Team NXT against Team 205 Live. And they had a notable fan in the crowd, John Cena. John Cena was actually there. He actually wanted to see this up close and personal. Team NXT. Leo Rush was out. Kushida was in. So it was Kushida, Tyler Breeze, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch representing NXT, 205 Live, being represented by Tony Nese, Jack Gallagher, Lee Brian Kendrick, Mike Kanellis, and Arya Daivari. When all was said and done, the winners of the match, 20 and a half minutes. Team NXT wins the match. And I believe from what I'm reading here, we had two survivors. The sole survivors were Kushida and Isaiah Swerve Scott. 3.5 stars. Very good match. Everyone worked hard and it was enjoyable even without a crowd. 7.5 out of 10. It featured the big 10-man match. That was the only match. It was very good. So a rare thumbs up for 205 Live. So that's all there is to say on that. So that'll put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very, very much for tuning in. Good old MF Michael Fletcher has come on in. He is our executive producer after all, and I understand he wants to share an announcement about our future content. So MF, what do you have?
All right. Well, first off, because NXT is actually still going and they're going to be at the Performance Center, we will have Wednesday Night Mayhem. We have decided that the show will go on. AEW has been put on hiatus, so until AEW comes back, we're only just going to review NXT at the moment, and that will be our show there. Thursday night, I'm pleased to announce that we will be bringing back Strictly Sports for one night only, because with all the news of the NFL, and first with the NFL and the Players Association and the league coming together, getting labor peace, that's actually, I don't think none of us saw that coming, but we do got labor peace. A 10-year deal was struck, and congratulations to the NFL, the PA, and to football fans. You get football for the next 10 years. Uninterrupted. So we got that, and then the legal tampering has actually begun, and boy did we get some bombs today. Basically, I'll say this: if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're very happy today. If you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you're very happy today. If you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, congratulations, you won today. So we're gonna bring you all the big news on that, and if there's any other news during the week, something a la what is going down with coronavirus, anything else, just in the way of like Major League Baseball just pushed their opening day now to mid-May. That's right around Memorial Day weekend. That continues the CDC's recommendation to cancel all events for at least 2 months. So we got that under the way. But the NFL has really stepped forward and given us a lot of content. From the labor piece to the NFL draft being moved out of Vegas, and now it's probably going to go back to New York. And on top of that, it's not going to be a big production. It looks like it's going to be like back in the old days when Pete Rozelle was the commissioner of the league. Maybe a conference room with all the teams, or we might even get the teams to announce their picks via their own war rooms in their own facilities. I mean, this is going to be the most interesting NFL season draft ever if this does happen. And yes, folks, it is going to happen April 23rd through the 25th. Just like with WrestleMania, they're not moving the date. They're just moving the location. Props to the NFL for that, too. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up, guys. And then, of course, Friday Night SmackDown recap. And that's really it, Anthony. So, for the first time in a long time, we got a 3-day work week. So, get ready.
Yes. I do have something I need to correct here. AEW, I don't know what you read, MF. AEW is moving their Dynamite tapings to closed locations. So there will still be AEW Dynamite.
Oh, now that I did not know.
Yeah.
Because I know they said they wanted it to do it in Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville shut them down. So I don't know where. I wonder where they're gonna be.
Well, here's what it says here. The announcement was made on the AEW official Twitter account with a statement addressing the show that was originally scheduled to take place on April 15th at the Agganis Arena at Boston University.
Yes.
AEW Dynamite 415 Boston rescheduled. As a precautionary measure against COVID-19, the AEW Dynamite show on April 15th in Boston will be relocated. The statement reads, the relocated show will be televised live on TNT on April 15th. Until further notice, live episodes of Dynamite will be produced at closed set locations with essential personnel only. So there you have that. So there will be AEW shows just at closed locations. And that Boston show has been rescheduled for August 5th. So it'll be on August the 5th. So shout out to our dear friends, Mike Silvera and Brian Keenan. They were planning on going to that show. So, but they did say the tickets that if anybody had tickets for that April 15th show, they will be honored for that August 5th show.
Okay.
So there you have that. So there will still be AEW, MF. There will still be AEW.
So then it'll be a full. So we will have a full
show.
Full show. Yeah, there you go.
So we will have AEW Dynamite and NXT on Wednesday night as part of Wednesday Night Mayhem, and then Thursday, for at least this week only, it will be a probable 1 week return of Strictly Sports, where we will talk about the NFL labor, the big NFL CBA agreement, and all the big free agent moves in the whole 9 yards, and the draft being moved. And then Friday night with the Cerebral Smack Talk, with Friday Night SmackDown, they did announce that Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns, they're going to have a contract signing for their Universal Championship match. So they will sign the contract, Goldberg and Roman. And I remembered something else, but I thought they mentioned something else, but it slipped my mind. So, but we do know Goldberg and Roman are going to sign the contract for the Universal Championship. So that'll be on Friday. And then next week, we'll do it all again. Ridiculously Raw, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton confirmed for next week. So that ought to be very interesting. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Mayhem, the usual 10:30 time, I'm sure, MF, right?
Yes.
Okay. So 10:30 Wednesday night, it will be Wednesday Night Mayhem, hosted by good old MF Michael Fletcher over on his YouTube channel, BraceFan95. The three of us will be there. We'll see about Dede Woodson. Thursday, right back here on the Tone 25, it'll be for at least this week only, a 1 week return of Strictly Sports, 10 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday night, 10:30 with MF's Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll go down Friday night SmackDown, and we'll do it all again next week. So that's it. So until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem. It's Anthony Florio, your ridiculously over good brother here. For the Phenom Michael Bullock, in his spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson, and always in forever the Hardcore Pipe. I'm Derek Ferrera. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other, especially nowadays. And God bless. And until Wednesday night, from Wednesday Night Mayhem, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my dear friends, no matter what anyone tells you, especially nowadays, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody, bye.